We are now in the design phase of our work. This is where we want your input. Andrea Court will now explain our options for a new budget model and walk us through our design considerations.
Thanks, Alan. There are two primary ways to allocate funds, and you've seen examples of both in our current allocations. The first way is by staff, the comprehensive staffing model, often referred to as the CSM. This allocates staff based on student counts. It budgets funds for programs rather than on student demographics. For example, if you're an IB school, the school receives the funds, both position and activity funds, for being an IB school. It may limit the flexibilities at the school level and be more centrally driven. Continuing with our IB example, those IB funds can only be used for the specific purposes for which they were allocated. The second way is by student-based budgeting. This allocates dollars based on student attributes. The model is generally simpler and easier to understand. The model is often paired with flexibilities for customizing at the school level. Small schools may find it challenging to offer comprehensive programming. A third option would be to combine the best attributes of a comprehensive staffing model and a student-based budgeting model. While a pure SBB model would involve allocating 100% of resources as dollars, in practice, nearly every district that funds schools on a per pupil basis does this combination model to varying degrees. Example might be 70% staff, 30% dollars. When you click on the budgets option on the tab on the public input site, you will see this slide and an opportunity to provide us feedback on the different budget models and post questions. This budget work is iterative and informed by multiple stakeholders. We know that our success hinges on the degree to which we authentically engage a diverse set of stakeholders and perspectives. We have created multiple avenues for input to achieve this goal. I want to note two intentional structures we created for feedback: a principals budget task force and a policy task force. The principals budget task force was created to ensure diverse representation from all wards and school types. Policy task force members included external policy experts and advocates. Both groups were convened monthly. Policy Council met from November to May. The Principal Budget Task Force met from January through April, with optional additional meetings ongoing. We've begun to test different approaches, and while a pure SBB model would involve allocating 100% of resources as dollars in practice, as I mentioned before, nearly every district does this combination model to varying degrees. This slide 70-30 split is just an example. We have not yet determined a proposed breakdown, but are looking into potential options. As we build the new model together, key considerations we are thinking about include weights. For the SBB portion of the allocation, select weights for students that reflect our values and fund the programs we believe are making a difference. Small schools. Developing compelling and adequately funding small school models. Weighted staffing ratios. Consider adjusting staffing ratios that invest more in different student need and accounts more for nuanced student need, such as ELL levels. Specialty grants. Allocate specific programs in a subset of DCPS schools in a more transparent way, including clarifying the requirements and resources that accompany each program and why they are allocated to individual schools.